Entering data using a data form. Previously, I discussed with you some of the ways you can automate your data entry into Excel through the use of either a custom form via a worksheet or worksheet template, or through the use of something called data forms. Now let's look more at data forms and specifically how you would use them to enter your data. Remember as you go that a big advantage with a data form is that you can focus in on a particular row of data, such as this one, or even this blank one here, rather than have your attention divided and distracted by the entire worksheet itself. And the longer a worksheet is and the longer you've been working with it so that your eyes are tired, information can seem to kind of become jumbled together sometimes. By being able to zero in on a specific row or particular record for entering data, you should be able to lessen the potential for errors. And this is a major issue since your data going in has to be correct in order to get the right results out of it later on. Here, we're going to return to the inventory list worksheet we used before, and you can see it's already loaded in our work pane. You can click anywhere within the row in which you want to enter data, such as here, for example, a blank row, or up here if you wanted to change something. Then open the Data menu and select Form. Here's our data form. Shortly, I'll show you about working with multiple records from the data form window. You'll understand what some of the buttons on the right are about. But right now we're going to zero in on data entry. For this purpose, we're going to create a new record to add to this inventory list. For this use, let's click the New button at the right of the data form, and you'll see that information for the new record appears with labels next to each necessary blank in which you're going to enter the data. So I'm going to type in some basic information. Motavi handbag. Type is accessory. I just click within each field to make changes. Cost per would be $48.30. Sales price $60. And number of units 17. Now we have a new record. If we click close at this point, you'll notice that the new record has been appended to the end of our worksheet. One thing I want you to understand as part of this is that you don't have to fret about when and how you enter specific records. Since this is actually part of a list, and we'll be discussing lists more later on, you can always go back and sort such lists later on so that they meet your alphabetical or other criteria. For example, you'll notice that all of these are in alphabetical format. Right now, just using the data form, you can focus in on entering the data itself and then attend to the details such as sorting your list later on. I really invite you to try this method of using data forms because it may make more sense to you than working down a long worksheet entering data into individual cells. The longer and more detailed a worksheet becomes, the more we tend to look for ways to limit our focus to a particular area to be sure we get the data right, as I told you before. Although you'll see, as we work through the various tutorials, Excel offers tools such as auditing to help you check your work. It won't usually spot data you've entered incorrectly or into the wrong spot. Now, let's address some of the other options available from the data form window.